I hate solo queue. I've been playing Valorant since beta, and about 90% of my games I play alone. Majority of that time, it was absolutely miserable. So today, I want to help all my solo queuers out there struggle just a little bit less. If you don't know me, my name is Slayerkey. I've taught thousands of players, helping them reach their dream ranks. And today, I'm going to give you everything I know for free. In this episode of Tuesday Talks, we're going to go over the #1 mistake I see players make, the 3 rules of solo queue, how to communicate and handle solo queue mentally. By the end of this video, you will become a solo queue god who can't get tilted, who inspires the team and wins more games. That's a goach guarantee. Let's dive right in. The #1 misconception that us solo queuers make is believing they're going in alone. Having this preconception that your teammates won't be able to help you, that you're gonna have to do everything on your own. And so before the game even starts, you're in the solo mindset. Okay, it's a team game. At the end of the day, your team may be a bunch of crybaby, uncaring, uncharismatic, ugly Reyna mains, but they're the only team you have. Like, let's all just be honest for the sec and be like, there are teammates who absolutely suck in Valorant. The worst kinds of teammates imaginable, the worst kind of people imaginable for that matter. But I'm sitting here making this video. Literally yesterday, I was complaining to my buddy about teammates. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? This guy is lost. He's like Dora without her map. But if you want to get better at solo queue, you have to learn to leverage your teammates. So we're going to talk about communication, how to communicate so people will listen. And there's a huge misconception out there that the way you communicate has to be specific in advance, when in reality, the same way some players communicate to golds, if they communicated the same thing to a radiant, the radiant would just not listen, not really understand what they're even trying to say. So the best way to communicate to your teammates is to communicate to them like they're a 2-month-old baby. If you watch some of my other videos or have gotten my improvement system, you've probably heard of the XYZ method. This is something I made that's basically agent who you're talking to, thing what you want them to do, and Z when they're gonna do it. So an example of this: Sova, can you drone close when I clear the smoke? Clove, can you wait to smoke a main until after my shot or after I tell you to? Make it very clear, very easy, very simple to do. If you want to do a 2-2-1 play or a 3-2, you want to be very specific on where each player is doing this. My favorite thing to do is just focus on the person with me. So like, hey Sky, can you come with me hookah, dog hookah? The rest of you go long. Chamber, you can lurk short. There's the 2-2-1. Or I can just omit that last part. There's the 3-2. The worst thing you can do for communication is overcomplicate it or over talk to the point where people just stop listening. Okay, we got the TikTok attention spans and we got to work with them, booze. So first thing of communication, make it simple. Be specific but not complex. Next thing, basically don't be the person that argues with teammates because they're wrong and I'm right, or because they deserve it. Like, this is just a power struggle. It really does nothing for your gameplay. It doesn't help you improve. It makes your teammates not want to work with you. It makes you not want to work with your teammates. It's a very easy trap, and I see a lot of my students fall into it, and it just distracts you. It just distracts you from your end goal. In a previous video, we talked about this question. I think it matters here as well. Just asking yourself, does this help me improve? Is what I'm doing helping me get better at the game? Before we continue, I need to clarify that these are my arms and not boobs. Also, if you seriously want to improve, I've released my complete Valorant improvement system. The same structure I used to coach over 2,000 players from gold to radiant. Built out everything you need to actually improve in one place. No guesswork, no wasted practice, just a clear system, training resources, and tools that tell you exactly what to work on and when. Get yours at Slayerkey.com. And if you'd like to work with me directly, I only take on a few students every month, but that's available there too. Thanks as always for your support, and enjoy the video. Next up, this is kind of communication. I'm going to put it into here because it is something you say to your teammates. Just hype your teammates up a little, just a little bit. Even if they do like a half decent play, like just hype them up, man. Like it's a really small thing, but like we all love it. Let's be honest. Like, oh shoot, nice play, man. Oh, that was a good shot. Like, just hype them up a little. Even the guy who's like being toxic and annoying, like he low-key appreciates that. Like, let's be honest. Don't be afraid to hype your teammates up a little. Give them a compliment, or when they do listen to you, just be like, oh, thanks for doing that, dog. Name the chamber was sitting there with an op 50 meters away. What great dog, regardless. And now we talked about the teammates enough. All right, I'm over it. Next up, I want to talk about a little bit of mental stuff. I feel like mental is incredibly important for solo queue. Some of the stuff I think players just, that we've talked about so far, that players just have trouble like getting themselves to that place. Like in the moment they're over encumbered, they're overcome to the point where, you know, being this way is pretty difficult. So I want to cover some mental aspects to help you like enjoy the game more when you solo queue. Your task, I'm assuming, is to get better at Valorant in one way or another. Whether you want to hit a certain rank, whether you want to compete in collegiate or go on to tier 2, tier 1, or you just want to get better at the game, right? This is your task. And I'm sure you've had it before where someone kind of intrudes on this task, where they tell you, no, do exactly this, do this. Kind of like I'm doing right now. But you know what I mean. When someone overarches their reach and kind of gets into your zone, it's like instead of you playing the game, they start holding your mouse for you. I think the backseating one's the best example. Like when you're in a clutch situation and then all of a sudden someone's in your ear being like, oh, you have a flash, you should flash the corner. Oh, he's not there, he could be cat, be careful. Oh, he's not cat, wait, the spike's down main. And just like continuously basically taking over your thought process is intruding on your task. So in the same way, you should not intrude on other people's tasks. So if your teammate wants to insta-lock, I'm really gonna have to bite my tongue here, wants to insta-lock Reyna and not use a single ability, not communicate until the game ends where they call you a slur, that is their task. So at the end of the day, no one's going to help you get better at Valorant. I tell this to my students. I'm not going to help you get good at this game. You watching this video right now, I can't help you get good at this game. You choose what to do with the information laid out to you. And I will say this time and time again. All the results you see at Slayerkey.com, anything from the improvement system, is people making the best out of the tools or resources or people they have available to them. Because at the end of the day, your ability to improve is entirely yours. Like you can yell at your teammates, you can call them whatever you want to, you can not listen to any of the advice in this video. And if you think that's the best thing for you, if you think that's going to help you improve, boom, there's your thing. That's pretty much it for mental. A very overarching concept, but I feel like it very well covers what players are missing when it comes to focusing on anything else besides your improvement. How does it help you improve? Okay, let's talk about the 3 rules of solo queue. I try to get some really interesting kind of underrated stuff that I don't think a lot of players think enough about. So the first rule of solo queue is don't fill. No, I'm just joking. Everyone says that. The first rule of solo queue is focus on the enemy more than yourself. I think kind of like that previous point where you're just too distracted or you just lose focus. Just worry about your enemy. Like revisit what they've done, where they like to play. What did they even do last round? Are they aggressing A? Are they aggressing C? Where does Chamber like to play? Where does he put his trip? Is there some play you can make with that? Who's close to their ult? I just spitballed like 5-10 questions that you could just toss into your brain when you press tab or when you think about the previous round. And what you'll tend to find is some weakness in the enemy approach. Oh, these guys never go C. Maybe I can fast flank C. Oh, these guys don't even have someone for flank. Maybe I can just push flank. I'm sure you've been in that situation where the one guy's like, you're like 10 rounds in and you realize, oh wait, they don't have anything. They don't even have a smoker. They don't have a flank holder. They don't have an initiator. Oh, they're a 5 duelist team. What? How did that happen? Hey, and even when you're in a fight with the player, I'm telling you, you can enter the mind of that person you're fighting. You could know if they're scared. You can know if they're gonna reswing, aka if they're on Reyna equals they're going to reswing. You can know if they're gonna use an ability. This was something, that one tip is what got me from Diamond to Immortal. Completely blew my mind when I first heard it. When I got this from my coach, my very first coach, who literally just said, are you thinking about the abilities of the player you're fighting? And the answer was just no. But what do they actually have to fight you with? What could they actually use here? And I'm not saying to think all these questions at the same time, but start thinking them. You'll get more used to it over time. It'll just become second nature. And a nice benefit of this one is the more you do this, the more naturally like the reads into players are gonna improve. You'll better understand how people play situations. Like, people think this is an aiming game, and yeah, maybe if you haven't watched my 30 days to plant video already, but like at a point it's just pure strategy. It's just pure who outthinks the other, who doesn't take the stupid play. When I watch players, I could instantly tell where their mind is at, what things they're thinking, just based on the actions they do. When I coach students, I don't have to say, hey, why did you do that a lot of the time? Because I'm getting the same information that they are. I can also see what information they're missing from their gameplay, and if only they noticed this piece of information, they could have played this situation completely differently and gave their opponent zero chance. Slayerkey.com. Anyways, rule number 2, I call this one next round mentality. This is basically, hey, shiznit happened, you feel me? When the game's over, the game's over, but when the round's over, the round's over. So like if your teammate made a mistake in the last round, just lost it for you guys, people are dogging on them, hey, next round round, bro. Hey, next round. If you made a mistake, you whiffed, you lost the clutch, next round, man. Next round. All the factors from the previous round, like you losing to an eco team, go into that next round, and then it's just a new state. Like, okay, we lost eco. What do we have here? What guns can we buy? What type of round are we looking at? Or even if you guys got killed by a flank player last round, like, oh, maybe we should throw something to counter that flank. Maybe you can position for that. Maybe we can play for that in a future round. Always think forward. Always think forward. Don't get stuck in the previous round and this, that, and the other thing. It's not worth it. And this one I feel like is pretty straightforward though. So let's just go to the third one. This one I wish I implemented sooner, and I also wish I implemented it fully. I think at this point, even after teaching all my students, I still don't have it down. And that is follow what you think is best. What you think is best in the moment, follow that. Now that doesn't mean don't listen to your teammates and just run it down. Okay, but genuinely, if you think a play is best, if you want to try a specific thing, you feel like you have something you're cooking up, your intuition's like nudging you on, do it, man. No matter what anyone says, you really think it's the best play, do it. Because what tends to happen in this situation is you either follow through with it and see what happens, and then you can learn from that, be like, okay, this was a good play. Or you could lose, be like, okay, this wasn't a good play. Maybe I can try what that person said in the future. Maybe I could try this different idea I have as well. Or you just listen to what they say or what the voice in the back of your head says, and then you don't learn anything. Because if it works out, if it doesn't work out, you don't know why they came to that conclusion. You don't know where this came from. And most of the times, I'll be honest, if you're in this position, you've got the best play in your mind. One bad thing I see players do is backseat people in clutches or like tense environments and just like keep telling them what to do. I was playing Arc Raiders the other day, and like there wasn't even anything crazy happening. There was just people around the corner, and I had this player just yapping, just straight up yapping, giving like 8 different comms, things to do. Watch out, do this. Only could do this. Do you have any this? And it's like, brother, you're dead. I'd like learn to role play a little and stop talking. But yeah, a lot of times I would just say it's more distracting for players to backseat. We could throw this in that communication pool as well. It's more distracting for you to communicate things than it is helpful, I would say, a lot of the times. Even for a player who clearly is lost, like they're just not at that point yet. If you want to say one thing, I think that's okay, but at that point, just let them play the game. Okay, that's my little tangent for this. Follow what you think is best. Trust your instinct. That's how you grow your instinct. And this even goes beyond the game, I should mention, because outside the game, like even just your decisions in general, like who you decide to play, what practice you do, like I would really ask yourself, is this the best thing to help me improve? Is this actually where I want to go as a player? I feel like so little players actually ask themselves these questions, and it just wastes time. Like you're just mindlessly playing death matches, or you're just playing like 50 different agents, or you're on Valorant 2028. How many agents are in Valorant? Definitely not 50. I think it's like 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. But yeah, follow what you think is best. Final rule of solo queue. I hope you're enjoying the video so far, by the way. Hope you're enjoying the little yapskis. We got our final tip here. This is the student tip. This is the same advice or things that I would do with students. It's basically a way of approaching solo queue in the game in general. So you have to think less and less while you play. It's very difficult to focus on many things at once, right? And Valorant is a game where you have very little time to really make decisions when it comes down to it. So how can we practice so we don't have to think so gosh darn much? Kind of covered some of those questions with the abilities earlier, abilities people have. You can also do stuff that makes it so the game's already laid out for you before it even starts. So biggest thing I do with students is create playbooks. This is like, where do you play? What type of round do you do a certain play on? What is the stuff you know works or think will work and want to try and experiment with and improve? Oops, I knocked my pop filter off my mic. Another thing would be practicing your mechanics in a specific way. When you're in a fight, you really shouldn't be thinking about too much of your mechanic. Like there's already a formula for your fights. There's already a formula for your mechanic, and you're just applying it. Like you shouldn't play comp to practice your mechanic. That's why I think it's really helpful to do those like death matches before you play, or just have like a separate 30-minute thing where you just train mechanics. Especially if you're like, and I would say like below Ascendant. Like I think below Ascendant, even Ascendants have really garbage mechanics. I'm just playing. Probably, but most players can find benefit in this. Okay. Another thing is to be specific with like your goal even when you play. Like why are you playing these games? Is it to practice that playbook? Is it to follow the notes you've been given? Is it to better learn the maps and how players play on them, certain types of agents? Like I don't know, what's your intention? And I think that kind of applies to everything. Like the more intention you can give to your playbook, why you do this, when you do this, how often you do this. Like I have an eco play. It's an eco round where we're doing the eco play. I think this intention is incredibly important to keep you kind of tunneled on your ultimate end goal, which is improving in Valorant. So when you go into your games, how intentional are you with what you do? And if you want the same structure and framework work. Probably heard me talk about it before, but improvement system does give it to you. I'm just saying, just saying. Also, if you watch this far, comment below that you can't believe the leaked video of me running butt naked down the street. Let's confuse the people who did it. That's gonna be it from your Goach. Take care and best of luck out there. Bye.